Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Fighting Game Fridays. I'm your host, Gamer Nick, and we are now doing Street Fighter Alpha 3, the final game of the Street Fighter Alpha series. So as you can see, it came with a very robust cast of characters here. Some of you may recognize, some you will never see again after this game. Actually, I think the only one that doesn't really... there are a few that don't make an appearance after this anymore. Julie, Junie, and Armika. I'll talk about that later. You might notice up in the corners there's a couple of extra characters that look like characters already on there, and those are like the super built-up characters that you get to use during World Tour mode. And I'm going to go ahead and use Super Fei Long, my super built-up Fei Long for this one. Why? Well, because it's my playthrough and I can do whatever I want. So yeah, Street Fighter Alpha 3, the last in the series of the Street Fighter Alpha games. This one, I would have to say is... now, I know I said Street Fighter Alpha 2 is my favorite, and it is. But I think out of the three, this is overall the best one. I mean, everything about this game was just over the top, and I thought it was pretty interesting. I liked the music, the backgrounds, the animation. The cheesy announcer, I mean, come on, that guy is just awesome. I like hearing that guy. And stuff like that. So, you know, combat, pretty much the same, not much different in Street Fighter Alpha-wise. You got your combos, you got your air blocking, you got your super combos, so you're doing 3 different levels. Only this time, the super combo thing is a bit different. In the first two, when you did the super combo, like, the level of the, you can go up to 3 levels, and the level you used depended on what button you put, how many buttons you push. So if you wanted level 1, you push 1 button. If you wanted level 2, you push 2 buttons. This time they changed it up a bit, and now it's the strength of the button that determines the level that you use. So if I wanted to do one super combo, I would hit the low punch button, or light punch button, and if I were to do the medium combo, I'd hit the medium button, and you know, for the level 3, you get the hard button. Simple as that. You also have 3 different types of super bars you can choose from. There's X-ism, and if you choose X-ism, it's kind of like playing as a Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo version of the character. There's no air blocking. You only get 1 super combo, even though it is more powerful. I think your life bar might be a bit weaker too. But yeah, so it's basically like playing like a Super Street Fighter Alpha version. You get 1 life, 1 power bar, and anything like that, and you rebuild it up and stuff like that. There's also A-ism, which is basically the one I'm using. It says I-ism, but I'll explain that in a minute. Oh, there's Rose, by the way. With A-ism, it's the standard 3, you know, the 3 level super meter. Like, depending on how strong it is, depending on which button you push, like I determined. And as you see with the Rose there, she has something called V-ism. V-ism, you can use custom combos. When you push, I think for this one, you just push 2 buttons, like 2 punch buttons or 2 kick buttons to go into the super combo. Wait, no. No, I think it's punch and kick. You have to hit punch and kick at the same time. Yeah, two buttons, like 2 punch buttons, that's throw and stuff. And you go into a custom combo where you pretty much just sit there. You can either do like regular combos or you can mash buttons. And your character goes in like the super shadow form, you know. Kind of like doing a super combo, only have a little more control over it. I could never do a super combo in this game. Every fucking time I tried, the computer immediately was able to shut me down. No matter what was going on, no matter how hard I tried, as soon as I went into V-ism, the V-ism combo, it just stopped me dead. Every time. It knew how. Damn AI. Just knows exactly how to shut your shit down. Fuck you, AI. So anyway, and the one you see I have there is I-ism, which is basically the one you use when you build up World Tour mode. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to notice this, but, you know, I got this character all built up where he takes less damage. He doesn't have the block meter anymore. Block meter, I'll explain in a minute. He doesn't have the block meter anymore, and the power grid actually does recharge whether I'm not doing moves or not. Usually, you know, when you're taking damage doing moves, your super meter builds back up. And this one, pretty much it does it automatically. It's a little perk you can go through when you build up your character. and World Tour mode and stuff like that. And that pretty much explains the I-ism. I think there's like some other ones that work with the X-ism and the A-ism. I really don't remember. Although I was pretty sure they're all combined there. I don't remember. And you actually level it up, if you can tell, in the corner there it actually says level 31. As you see, Akuma makes his return as a regular character yet again. Shin Akuma is in this game, and he's a bit more, and he is selectable, not hidden. In this version, the Dreamcast version, he was already unlocked. All the characters you had to lock that were locked within the PlayStation version, because like when you got the PlayStation version, you pretty much, like the PS1 version, pretty much only had so many characters, and there were more in there, but you had to unlock them during gameplay. Some being Evil Ryu, Akuma, Shin Akuma, and Guile. There might have been more, I don't remember. I think that was it though. And after you fulfill certain conditions in World Tour mode, you unlock them. Now, while World Tour mode did make its reappearance in the Dreamcast version, which I'm playing here, the characters were already unlocked, and you didn't have to really go through all those ridiculous stipulations to unlock them. But World Tour mode was still there, to you know, build a character and have the fun of doing it. It was actually a pretty good, a pretty decent run. You level up the character, you like take on the challenges it gives you. It was all cool stuff, you know, and you unlock stuff, this, that, and other thing just by doing World Tour mode, which is really something that needs to be brought back into gaming these days, or fighting games these days. They don't really do it as much as they should. And yes, T-Hawk makes an appearance in the console-only version of this game. Yeah, when the arcade came out, there weren't really that many characters. I think like the only new one was, well, not the only new one, but Armika and Balrog, plus Julian Jr., I believe, were both, were pretty much the new characters in the game, and a lot of them weren't really in this version, or in the arcade version that you see in the home versions, like Fei Long, T-Hawk, and stuff like that. They were all hidden characters in the not hidden characters, but they were added to the console version, and they weren't in the arcade version. Balrog, I think, was hidden in the arcade version, and you could eventually unlock them by a time release, or somebody beat the game, or something like that. I don't remember. Alright, so if you look up under the life bar, you'll see you see another little grid. That is the block meter. This is something that fighting games, Capcom especially, desperately need to bring back into the fighting games. The more you block, you don't take damage, at least not from normal moves, but your block meter does deplete. So the more you block, the more your block meter takes damage, and eventually it can be shattered, and your opponent gets a free hit, throwing a combo, throwing a super combo, whatever. Oh, and by the way, each time you break it, it gets shorter every time. Yeah, that's right, so eventually you have like barely anything to hold on to. So this is definitely something that you need to bring back, because that would really piss off a lot of these turtling bastards. And that's probably why that guard didn't make it in the sequels, because people probably bitched about it. Oh, how dare you? Oh, blocking's part of the strategy. You can't do this. Shut up. Okay, I don't know if that really happened, but I'm just saying that. For the hell of it. As far as custom combos go, I totally forgot to mention this in Street Fighter Alpha 2 in last week's edition, but you can do them there too, and I'll get to that in a minute. This time you have like the little story battles, and this time you get one halfway through and one towards the end. And for Fei Long, he just happens to keep running into Shadaloo people trying to get him to join, and just look at Balrog's sales pitch. Like, you can make money doing drugs and kidnap people and rape and kill hookers. I don't know, he probably didn't say that, but so yeah, as far as a Fei Long story goes, they're trying to, Shadaloo is trying to recruit him because they like his fighting style, and they pretty much tell him, hey, wanna join? He's like, nah, and that doesn't work. That right there is a special version of Balrog called Shin Balrog. It's the arcade version. Basically, he has like all the abilities of a regular character, only he has like the super meter, and he's a bit stronger and faster and stuff like that. there are a few characters that do that. There's Shin Akuma, which you can pick as, and there's also m.bison, which there is a way to unlock him. But I never knew if I did it or not. I really don't. I mean, I did the procedure, and it's like, okay, is this m.bison or not? I don't know. I could never really tell. So yeah, basically you go through the story battle. And there's one halfway at the 5th battle, one at the 9th battle, and then finally you get to the final boss. And you have one more. Now, as I was saying, the custom combos, they were actually in Street Fighter Alpha 2 also. I completely forgot to bring that up when I was doing Alpha 2, but basically when you hit all... I think you have to actually hit all 6 buttons to initiate the super combo. I think so, but, you know, same as always, you know, the minute you go through the super combo, oh, you're immediately stopped. And you could do the super combo no matter what, as long as you had some power in your meter. And unlike this one, where you actually have to pick the Vism one to do the combo. In the original Japanese version to Street Fighter Zero, it's actually called Z-ism. I don't remember what the X-ism and B-ism was. I don't know if it's the same, but it's actually called Z-ism in the arcade version. Oh, friggin' Gen here, he ruined a lot of my attempts at this playthrough. Played through the first time, I got to this guy in the exact spot, by the way, round 6, battle 6. I could just not get past him. I was like, what the hell? Come on, the guy cannot be this hard. So then I tried to play a Sagat, and he came in at the 3rd battle, and I couldn't do it then either. I was like, what the hell is wrong with this? Now, Alpha 3 pretty much is the more difficult of the 3. The AI is a little sharper, a little smarter, and stuff like that. First 2 are kind of like dirt easy, basically, unless you're like super hard. In this one, there's actually a bit of a challenge to it. If you want to call it a challenge, seeing as how much of the times the characters kind of jump around, and even in Gen's case, just kind of just sits there and like doesn't move, and like, it's like, yeah, what the hell's going on here? But yeah, if you Gen is a bit of a pain in the ass kind of character. Oh, I think I'll... Oh, yeah, fuck you. I also have, I think I made it, like, in World Tour where you can take it so you don't really take block damage. Not from super moves or anything. I did beat this guy, didn't I? Crap, I don't remember. Pretty sure when I did this playthrough, I didn't really lose all. I actually didn't lose at all, except I didn't have to do any continues. The one playthrough so far, I didn't have to do any continues, except for the fact that I was like, probably because I'm using my Super Phalon. Let's see. Oh yeah, Cammy finally makes her official appearance in this game. Story-wise, in the Alpha series, she is the Killer Bee doll, where her story is finally fully established and who she is and where she came from, fixing the very crappy translation error that happened in Super Street Fighter. That happened in Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2. So yeah, I think that covers that. So yeah, okay, what else is there to talk about? Man, I'm burn myself out on this one. But yeah, so this game pretty much impeded my my thing. I might as well talk about, okay, when I first got, I remember when this game came out for PlayStation 1, I was so excited. I traded in a bunch of games just to get it. Took it home, and I was loving this game until I got to, you know, m.bison. Holy crap, m.bison. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Like I said, I am playing the Dreamcast version. For a reason I'll explain a little later on, but it eventually came out with Dreamcast not too much longer after the PS1 version, because Dreamcast came out a little while after that. And basically, you know, in the Dreamcast version, the game was pretty much more or less, I don't know if I'm going to say arcade perfect, but everything from the arcade was pretty much retained. The animations, there were no load times really at all. I mean, in the Alpha 3 for the PS3, there's like a load time between fights, and there's like a little like screen there you had to look at. In this one, there's no load times. All the little animations that they had to cut out of the PlayStation version made it here. Like, for example, Zangief's cape. like you're about to face Zangief, he has a cape on, and he takes it off. And they cut that part out of the PlayStation version due to limited memory. Although there was a way around that, is where if you played the same character, each player played the same character, you would see the animation. So, oh yes, Blanca also makes his alpha appearance in this game. You're not gonna see him in this playthrough. There's the custom combo I was talking about, which the computer can pull off every time, no problem. But when I try it, oh look at that, I know exactly how to stop you. Blah 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 blah. Armika is a new character. Excuse me. Armika is a new character they made for this game, and only for this game. Really did not see hide nor hair of her after this. She's basically a big Zangief fan, even though she's Japanese. She's a huge fan of Russian wrestling and Zangief. And her ultimate goal in life was to meet Zangief. She became a professional wrestler. Japanese professional wrestler. So yeah, and I don't know, I kind of like her stage. I think it's a pretty interesting stage. A lot of the, even though the game is called Street Fighter, you know, notice a lot of the fights don't really take place in the street. I know it's not really a thing to discuss, but whatever. So yeah, Armika is a character that came out for the Alpha series, and you really didn't see much of her after that. There were a lot of versions of the Street Fighter Alpha 3. There is a PlayStation version. There is a PlayStation Portable, a PSP version, which had a few more extra characters in it. I think Yun. I don't know if he was in the PS3. I don't know if he's in the PSP version. No, he's in the Game Boy Advance version. Yes, there's the Game Boy Advance version, which was bad. I guess it wasn't that bad, except controls like really didn't work all that well. Button layout was kind of like playing on a Super Nintendo. But yeah, so in the GameCube, crap. There was no GameCube version. There should have been, but there wasn't. In the Game Boy Advance version, yeah, very, very limited animation and memory. There was like really a handful of stages that actually made it through, so you'd see a lot of repeat stages while you're playing. Although it still had Shin Akuma and m.bison and all that other stuff. But if you tried to play, it was just pretty bad. I guess if you can put it on the that Game Boy player for your GameCube and play it on there, it might make it a little more interesting, but not by much. DJ is another character that was only in the console versions, didn't make it to the arcade version. So basically, they threw everybody when the console version of this game came out. They pretty much threw everybody from Street Fighter Alpha or Super Street Fighter 2 in it. So Cammy was there, T-Hawk was there, Fallon was there. None of these people were in the arcade version. And then they started putting characters like in subsequent versions. I think there's another character called man, I forgot. Inga? Was it Inga? I think some weird character from Street Fighter, from the PSP version of Street Fighter Alpha. And yes, I spam the Super Flaming Kick a lot because my power meter keeps rebuilding, and why not? You do it too. Keep in mind, I'm playing against a computer here, not an egger opponent, so it's not cheating. Unless you're playing against another person. Like in the Game Boy, Super Game Boy version, or Game Boy Advance version, I just have no clue whatsoever why they even bothered to put Yun in there. I mean, that made absolutely no sense. I mean, Yun would have to be like 11 or 12 if you want to go by this. Well, maybe not. In case anybody's wondering, I'm pretty sure like the time frame of Street Fighter Alpha series takes place sometime in the 80s. Like late 80s, right before hit the 90s. Because basically, if you look at it, Street Fighter 2, the tournament took place in February of 1991 or 92, I believe. So theoretically, Street Fighter 4 takes place in 92 or 93. So anyway, yes, all that in advancement, and you're still playing back in time. That's why characters look so young. I'd like to see them make another Street Fighter where the story takes place in more present day and the characters like older. I like to see Ken with some like gray hair or whatever. Ryu's got like that hermit beard. I think that'd be pretty fun. But yeah, so basically Sad. I'm just running out of steam on this one. Yeah, this game took a little longer than the other ones. So, yeah, have fun with that. Yeah, as far as the this series goes, like I said, this is a pretty good one. Over-the-top announcer, stuff like that, and I'm just repeating myself, yay. Oh, that's right, Vega. I forgot about Vega. Vega also makes his appearance in Street Fighter Alpha 3. He was not in Street Fighter Alpha 1 and 2. I think this is the time where he first joined the organization, and his job was to go look for Fei Long, I guess. He also, for some reason, spared Cammy, even though he was supposed to kill her. Or like that. Vega's kind of a weird character because I think he actually hated Bison, wanted to kill him and take over his job. But, damn. He wanted to take over his job, but he never really did. There's really no telling what happened to him after the Street Fighter 2 series, but he just appears in Street Fighter 4 as like, hey, I'm still alive. He is a bullfighter. Or he's a bullfighter. He knows ninja skills. He fights with the claw and mask. Fights in the mask because he thinks he's too pretty and shouldn't be fighting. Or, you know, damage his face, gets really upset about it. He had a really weird past. I think I was reading about it somewhere, and I think like his mom was like killed or something like that. Interesting fact, Vega is actually supposed to have a full suit of armor. Believe it or not. Just a mask, just a suit of armor, but, you know, seeing how Street Fighter is supposed to be about street fighting and not fighters in time, that idea was scrapped. But, you know, he kept the mask. And I don't know if the claw was supposed to be part of the suit of armor, or he was supposed to have the whole sword. You know what else I always found weird? Okay, in these Street Fighter games, you know, the claw, when the characters turn around, they mirror, you know? So whatever's on one side stays on the same side when they flip over. So, for instance, Vega's claw. It's on one hand, facing this way, and it's on the other hand when he faces this way. So the claw switches, apparently. That's a mirror effect, which is something they did in, you know, due to limited memory, stuff like that. Something happened a lot in 2D fighting games. You notice it with Sagat's eye patch. Like, it always mirrors. Now, in Street Fighter 4, with the eye patch, Sagat's eye patch, it stays where it's supposed to. You don't mirror, it doesn't change. It stays right where it's supposed to be, over the same eye, no matter what side of the screen he's facing. Vega, on the other hand, the claw always switches. It still mirrors. I don't know how that works. Everything else stays the same, but the claw still mirrors. So, I'm wondering, does he switch hands? Does he switch hands when he does it? Or is it just something they just kind of overlooked and didn't bother to deal with when Street Fighter 4 came out? I think it's the latter. They're like, should we flip the claw? Nah. No one's gonna notice. We'll be too busy, like, bombarding with DLC and stuff for them to notice the claw. Okay, maybe they didn't say that because when the first Street Fighter 4 came out, you know, DLC wasn't that big of a deal. And now we get to the final boss, M.bison, or True Bison, or Shin Bison in the arcade version. Now, if you're wondering why I decided to choose the Dreamcast version over the PS2 version, it's because the PS2 version is pretty much a straight port of the arcade version. Now, is that a bad thing? No, not at all. Except for one little problem that comes towards this part. In the arcade version of Street Fighter Alpha 3, if you lose to Bison, you do not continue. You do not have the option of continuing at all. Now, when the PS1 version and the Dreamcast version came out, they fixed that, and you can continue to your heart's content, no matter how many times you lose. There's something like, you know, and Shin Bison has this really super... Damn, look at that thing. Takes up the whole fucking screen. You get hit by that, you are screwed. And I remember the first time I was facing this guy, and I'm fighting, I'm like, oh, this guy's not so hard, it's not so bad. And then, boom! I was like, holy what was that? And, you know, after, like, a while, I did not, like, eventually I learned to see it coming, and I learned to hang back, because he'll do it either way. But the first time I'm playing this, you don't know the strategy, so he's kicking your ass, or you're kicking his ass, and he'll just throw that combo at you, and beat the fucking shit out of you and you're dead. And that's it. And in the arcade version, no matter how many times you continue before you get to this guy, you're done. It does not let you continue. And that, they actually ported over to the PS2 version. So they didn't fix that when the PS2 version for the Street Fighter Anthology came out. You got the straight arcade version, and even though you can get the Street Fighter Upper version, which is basically the console version with all the extra characters that weren't in the arcade version, guess what? They still did not put in the part where you could continue. So, you know, you lose, that's it. Game over, you get to start over. And the Dreamcast and PS4 versions, you can continue as much as you want, it didn't matter. So hey, if you ever want to see Ryu's ending in arcade mode, just go play as Bison, and then, you know, lose to Ryu, and you'll get Ryu's ending. So yeah, besides only 3 characters, and then I beat him right there. Only 3 characters don't have Bison as a final boss. Bison, Shinakuma, and wait, no, I gotta rephrase that. Only 2 of them do. Bison and Shinakuma, Bison and Evil Ryu do not have Bison as a final boss. The final boss for Evil Ryu is Shinakuma, and the final boss for Bison is Ryu, because his plan was to kidnap Ryu and brainwash him and take over his body or something like that. Which is what happens if Ryu loses, but if Ryu beats you in arcade mode, you get to see Ryu's ending. So, and speaking of the ending, I loved the endings of Street Fighter 3. I did. I loved them. I liked the music. I liked the cinematics. I liked the cinematics weren't all special, but it was cool. I liked how they did it. It was like really cool music. Like, yeah, this is the final battle. It's happening right here. This is ending, and then like, you know, you get to see a couple different animation stuff. The endings were always cool. I think Guile has like the longest one. I think Guile's ending is like the true ending of the Street Fighter Alpha series. So basically, it leads into what happens to Charlie, what happens to Street Fighter Alpha 2, like what happened in the other Street Fighter games. I'm stumbling already. And oh yeah, the one Street Fighter Alpha game where Charlie does not die in the ending, or he doesn't die in his ending. He'll die in Guile's, but he won't die in his. So weird, right? The first 2 he dies completely, and this one he doesn't. So his endings don't count in the first 2. And basically, here you go, and you see, you see Fei Long's combo from Street Fighter 4. I'm pretty sure you could actually do this in Alpha in this game. I forgot how to do it, and I didn't really look it up. So that's like his 3rd super combo. But Bison always turns to like dust or whatever, but he keeps coming back, and apparently he fought like all the characters before he finally died altogether. I think the Psycho Drive kept building him up. So right, that's basically it for Street Fighter Alpha 3. This has been another episode of Fighting Game Fridays. I am done with Street Fighter series for now. I'll be moving on to something else later, and most of you will probably be like, oh thank God he's not talking about Street Fighter anymore. So yeah, I'm going to take a break from Street Fighter for a while. I will be doing something new next week, or whenever I get around to doing this, so I'll see you guys then. And I hope you enjoyed this long-ass episode of Fighting Game Fridays. If not, well then you suck. Alright, I'll see you later.